What inspired you to join the military?
I was drafted into the military, and I chose to serve as a patriot of our country instead of defecting to Canada like many did.
What was your role in the military?
I was an infantryman, which is combat ready soldiers that are ready to go into combat.
What message would you like to share with the next generation?
Everyone should honor our flag and show patriotism to the United States of America. And I think all of our youth should be inspired by our flag.
What inspired you to join the military?
When I was in high school, between my sophomore and junior year, I decided that I wanted to go to college, but I wasn't really set up in a way very well to make that a reality. I didn't have the grades to go to college really, and I didn't have the financial support I would need. And also neither of my parents had gone to college, so they didn't really know what I needed to be able to set myself up for that. So I figured the best method would be, for at least paying for college, would be going into the military. And because I really wanted to go to college, and it probably wasn't going to happen otherwise.
What was your role in the military?
I was an electronics technician in the Navy. An electronics technician is pretty much a person who it works on all the electronics on a ship. I worked on radars, radios, GPSs, and any bunch of other different types of electronic navigation equipment. For my first year, I spent between boot camp and apprenticeship school to actually learn how to become an electronics technician. After that, I was sent to a ship, the USS Shamal. They were already 1 month into a 7-month deployment to the Horn of Africa, where we were doing counter-piracy, looking for Somali pirates. That was about a year, probably 2011 or 2012, about a year after the stuff from Captain Phillips, that Tom Hanks movie, happened. We only ended up catching one group of pirates, and then came back after 7 months. A year later, we did the same thing again, but at that point, most of the piracy had calmed down, so we didn't end up catching anybody that time. That ship decommissioned, and I was sent to the USS Shamal, where I was still an electronics technician. We did one deployment to the Caribbean and Central America for counter-narcotics, looking for drug runners.
What message would you share with the next generation?
I had a mentor in the Navy who told me something that I really took to heart, and that was, you can learn something from anyone, the good or the bad. A lot of the times we talk about getting good examples from people, and I think you can take the bad examples and learn from them too, because I've probably had more negative experiences in my life than I've had positive, more negative stuff to draw on, and I've always tried to use that as inspiration for what not to be. I've had bad bosses and sometimes even bad teachers, and sometimes those people have taught me more about how I want to act than the good examples, because the good examples might not always get that many good examples to go off of. So I think you should try to just learn from everyone how you want to act as a person, not just from the good things you see, but how not to act from the things you don't like.
So what inspired you to join the military?
Well, I was blessed to have brothers that also were in the military, and they served in Vietnam and served in different parts of the world, and so I was pretty proud of them. So when I was drafted, the day that I graduated from college, I got my letter in the mail, and so worked that summer, and so I went ahead and joined because they said I could work 2 weeks more. So I did that, and I went to basic training in Fort Leonard Wood, and there took an interview for they could work with me to decide what area I was going to go into for further training. So I went into training after Fort Leonard Wood at Fort Sill, Oklahoma, to be a missile, not really a surveyor, but to work with a surveying tool to help missiles be on target for where they were being supposed to go. And I worked with nuclear missiles and there's two places you could be assigned for that. And one was Fort Sill, Oklahoma, and the other one was in Germany. So that's where I went to Germany, and I spent 18 months there, 7 months with my wife, and we lived with a German family. And it was a wonderful experience, especially a month before I went into the service. We found out that no more troops were being sent to Vietnam. And so that was comfortable knowing that I'd be going into the military without having to be in a very dangerous situation. At my time there in Germany, we were able to travel, and I was able to make lots of friends. A lot of the students, a lot of my fellow soldiers were students, college graduates. And so in this particular area, they had recruited a lot of college graduates. And at the time of the Vietnam War, there was a lot of college students that joined early and to get their military service where they wanted to be, signed up, volunteered for it. So I was pretty blessed, I thought, to be among those people. I also had lots of good friends, and we traveled to the Netherlands, to England, to Austria, just a few of the places, and we were able to go there very quickly, of course, since you're already living there. And in the German family we lived with was a couple with a little girl, and we lived upstairs in the attic with a V-shaped, and so you walked around with your head different, straight up, and a little fuel oil stove, which was enough for 2 rooms. And you went out into the hallway for the bathroom, which was like going out to the outhouse at my home, cold, and taking a shower. And you did it very quickly. What else do you want to know?
What would you like to let the next generation know?
I've always been very pleased that I could serve my country, and I want many young people to also have that feeling of serving your country, your community through military service, whatever branch of the service that may be. And also, especially during these days of natural disasters and of COVID, that the National Guard has been used in so many circumstances to support our community in the difficult times that they face, whether tornado or floods or whatever the disasters are. So whatever service you can be to your country through any of these armed forces is just it's something to be very proud of and to pass on to the next generations, that's how we're able to maintain such a great country that we have, is that people are willing to serve and to sacrifice, and families too, as their loved ones are serving in different places. So it's a real honor for me to be a veteran, and I applaud all those that serve now and in the past.
What inspired you to join the military?
The opportunity to travel, learn new skills, and protect our country.
What was your role in the military?
I was a firefighter for the President's Helicopter Squadron.
What message would you like to share with the next generation?
Military is a great place to learn leadership skills, and having young people in the military is a must to maintain the freedoms young men and women previously have fought so hard to earn. Always remember, those people and that freedom isn't given, it is earned.
My name is Raymond Barton. Currently I'm the Chief of Police for Clarence, and I've got 22 and a half years in the military. with a background in law enforcement.
What inspired you to join the military?
My dad, and the fact that at the time I wanted to be a cop when I got out of high school, which you had to be 21, so we decided to go in the military and ended up staying. We were law enforcement there.
Okay. What was your role in the military?
Started out as survival equipmentman for the first 5 years, and then after that was law enforcement, specifically canine.
What message would you like to share to the next generation?
If you can serve, everybody needs to do their part. Otherwise, we're just going to lose what we've got in this country.
What inspired you to join the military?
9/11 and the war in Iraq had just started, so I felt the need to serve my country, so I enlisted.
What was your role in the Marines?
I was a sergeant in the Marines. I was an avionics technician, which meant I worked on electrical components on aircrafts.
What message would you like to share with the next generation?
Just probably not to take this country for granted. There's a lot of things that we have, such as voting rights, clean drinking water all the time, a good education system. There's several things that we have in this country that people just don't have in other countries. So just be grateful that we live here and that you have people that are willing to protect us so we can have those things.
What inspired you to join the military?
So I joined the military in 2000 and I wanted to serve my country, and I also saw it as a little bit of a challenge as being a female to join the military. Additionally, I sought out funds to help with my future endeavor for my future schooling.
What is your role?
So my role right now, initially when I joined, it was a PFC as a medical laboratory technician, and then I went to the University of Missouri, and then I converted to a cadet, and then I'm currently a major. 66 Hotel is what they call me, which is a registered nurse.
What message would you like to share with the next generation?
So there's three, it's kind of a three-part. I'd like to let you all know that there's so many experiences that I've obtained in the uniform. So no other experience outside the military that I've seen like I have now. I've also got to serve men and women in the uniform and also civilians of diverse cultures within the military and outside the military. I've also obtained friendships that will last me a lifetime.